Take a Seat Gaming is one of the oldest gaming communities in the scene. We don't have a big ego about it. We're just better than you. You're now listening to the Take a Seat Tidbits podcast, featuring different hosts and leaders every episode.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Take a Seat Tidbits podcast for TSB. I am your host, TSB Roughneck. I'm followed in by Last Patriot, Robbie Scotty, TSB Dark, TSB Irishman, TSB Real Knowledge, TSB Rogue, and ya boy Shario. Look, I went to a small public school, so don't even expect me to pronounce it right. But and then we've got, I'm gonna completely screw your name up, and I've already had a conversation with you, so go ahead and just say your name.
I'm Hailey Muse.
Hailey Muse, okay. Again, small public school, can't help it. They did not teach us very well.
Muse is good. We just make it short.
There we go, Muse. So, but anyway, this is the podcast, TSB Podcast. Glad to have all you guys in here. First things first, we're going to go down the line and let you guys introduce yourselves. You know, let us know who you are, what rank you are, if you're ranking up, if you're just a regular member, what division you're a part of, and we'll just kind of go from there. So we'll start here at Last Patriot. Tell us a little bit about you, brother.
I am part of WI, part of the new squad Infernal. We just kind of split the Carnage squad over here. I am a high school teacher and just kind of a normal gamer that kind of tries to hang out with everybody.
Ooh, we got a teacher in here. I may need to get with you later. Glad to have you here, man. Glad that you could be a part of the podcast. We'll be coming back to you with that squad split. That sounds very interesting. We'll move on here to Robbie Scotty. Fill us in, brother.
Okay, guys, I'm Robbie Scotty. I've been here in TSB for a little over 4.5 months. My profession is I'm a commercial roofer. I'm part of the Division WI. And I'm the colonel of Mafia Squad.
Right on. Glad to have you here, and I bet you're not excited about summertime being a commercial roofer. I know it's hot out there right now. Whew, I couldn't imagine doing that.
Not fun at all.
You keep the roofs over our head, so we appreciate all the hard work. So, moving on here, we've got the old man of TSB, as I like to call him, TSB Dark. He's been here for a century, and he's old and cranky, so... But, I mean, you know, go ahead and tell us more, Dark.
I've been here in TSB for over 2.5 years. I'm always down to play something, just about anything. So if you're looking to play something, just hit me up.
Right on. Glad to have you here, Dark. It's always a pleasure. Moving on, now we've got TSB Irishman. Tell us about yourself, brother.
I'm Irishman. I'm in WI as well, in the Infernal Squad, so I was a part of the squad split with Patriot. I am a father of 2 with one on the way. I'm in sales for an engineering firm, and I play a bunch of games. I have a bunch of associations on the side, so I like to stay busy.
Congratulations on the soon-to-be new little one. That's
Thank you.
Awesome. Great news. I'm going to go ahead and shout him out. We used to never do this, but the man's in here. He's dedicating his time. TSB Real Knowledge. This is the man right here that is... He's doing our audio and recording. Glad to have you here, and we appreciate you coming in and doing the podcast. It helps out a lot when we have somebody there that can do it. A lot of the times, you know, like I can't. If I try to do it, I would mess this podcast all up. So glad to have somebody in here that can do it. Now we're going to move on to Miss TSB Rogue.
I'm TSB Rogue, like you just said. I'm the LG over in WI. I've been in TSB for about 2.5 years now. I just love being part of the community.
Right on. Glad to have you here, Rogue. Glad to have you here. Gonna move down here to ya boy. I'm not gonna try to say that you're the last part of your name again. Small public school, not very smart, so we'll just go with ya boy.
My actual full name is TSB YB Shiro. I've been in TSB now for about 2.5 months. I'm over in WI. I'm one of the BGs. I play a bunch of games, so if you ever see my name, send me a message.
Right on, man. Glad to have you here. And then, last but not least, we could not forget Miss Muse.
Hi, my name is Muse. I am the new lead for the podcast team here in WebOps and TSB. I'm also the colonel of the Prometheus squad in Elusive Sanctum, which is the new PC division. Happy to be here and happy to be able to help you guys with this podcast series and get to know War Inc.
Yeah, we're all excited here, guys. We haven't done a podcast in a little while. We've been going through a rebuilding process. We've had some changes to, you know, who's been running the podcast for the better. and I know we're all excited to get back up and running with this thing. The first thing we're going to jump into, obviously, we've already heard some of the news about squad splits. That's always an exciting thing within TSB, and means that the community is growing and that divisions are getting stronger, and that's something that we all love to see. When divisions grow and they get stronger, it pays the way to have more activity for people to find people to play with. So that's always great news. So we'll start back here with you, Last Patriot. You were talking about your squad split. Why don't you just bring it up, give us a little more info about it, and explain to us what's going on with that.
So the biggest thing is, at least what I know, is that we did find a bunch of really good people in our leadership community that is there for anybody at any time. In these types of communities, you always need to find people that are there to just kind of talk with each other. And we found the right amount of people. We found the right people. Let me restate that as well, because finding leadership and finding good leadership is always very hard to find. We did create a huge division or a huge squad. We kept bringing in people. I know Irishman was one of the biggest recruiters in our squad, and he brought in a lot of people and brought in a lot of good people. Other than that, I just think that, like you said, creating more opportunities, creating more spaces for people to be in is a great thing for TSB.
Yeah, man, and you know, to touch back on what you just said, you know, a minute ago, as far as leadership goes, you can have amazing people in the community, but they may not be that leadership type quality, and it's hard to find those leaders within the community, those people who are going to step up. A lot of people have a misconception of what a gaming community is. They think it's just a group of people piled into a server. But, you know, TSB, I've been around the gaming scene for a long time, and I've been in, you know, no, I wouldn't say a number of communities, but I've been in, you know, some larger communities, and, man, you know, it's getting harder and harder and harder to find people who realize the importance of ranking up and doing what we do here. It's not to showboat and to do all that other crazy stuff, but it's to be able to build a good foundation for the community to be able to run smooth. So, yeah, I mean, that's great, man. So now that we've kind of talked about that a little bit, and we'll talk to some of you other guys about, you know, the squad splits, because I think, what is there, one or two of you guys in here that were a part of that squad or are a part of that squad that split?
Yes, sir. Me and Irishman.
Okay, so yeah, we'll touch base with Irishman on that too. So now I want to get down to you, Patriot. Now, you said you're a school teacher. You're
Yes,
a
sir.
father of two, and you got one on the way?
No, that was Irishman.
Irishman, okay.
I have two cats.
Two
Binks
cats?
and Winnie. Binks and Winnie.
There we go. Hey, ain't nothing wrong with that. So, Last Patriot, again, remind me, how long have you been in TSB?
5 months.
How are you feeling about the community after 5 months being in?
Oh, I love it. I absolutely love it. Like I said, you can always find somebody to play with. You can always find somebody to kind of talk with. And the biggest thing is, with a lot of people, they get on their Xbox or they get on whatever type of system and they don't have anybody to play with. But if you're in a community like TSB, you can always find somebody that's going to play the same game that you are. And
Right.
I think that that's the biggest thing, because a lot of people get burnt out on playing games because they just don't have anybody to play with.
Mhm.
And since most of the games out now are multiplayer, you need somebody to talk to, so you're not sitting there bored. You're not thinking to yourself, man, why am I playing the game whenever I can go out and do whatever? But if you have somebody here in a community that you can always kind of talk to and game with, then you're just going to feel more welcome, not only in the gaming community, but also in your real life, because it also helps with your personal communication skills in real life.
100%. And that's something that I've told a lot of people. Over the years that I've been in TSB, man, I've ran into a lot of people that have had stage fright or social anxiety. And it's a great feeling to be able to get those people into a party, whether it be a big party or a smaller party, game with them, and then witness them open up. And, and kind of, now they're talkative. Now you're kind of like, dadgum, I kind of wish, I'd have held off a little bit. But it's a great thing to see people grow within the community, because it teaches you all kinds of different things. It teaches you how to talk to certain people, and then you add on to the leadership quality of things, having to, learn how to manage a workload within the community, because obviously we have goals that you have to do, workshops, game nights, and recruiting. And that can be a lot for some people, but, it teaches you, it's almost like a whole nother set of traits that if you didn't already know how to manage a load, now you do. So, I agree 100%. The gaming communities, they've changed so much over the past, 8, 9, 10 years. And so coming into TSB when I did is really an eye-opener. Patriot, what are some of your goals? Do you have any goals that you set for yourself personally within the community?
I was in leadership for a little bit, but I had to step down due to personal life stuff, and I'm starting to coach football at the high school that I teach at. So that kind of does take up a lot more time to not be able to be as open as I would like to be. And if somebody can be there, and I thought to myself for a while, I don't want to hold anybody else down that can do more than I can. Because, like I said, we have to have leadership that has to be there and be able to talk to people and be there for them, not 24/7, but in most scenarios. They need to be there and kind of either play with them or, in some scenarios, just kind of have personal conversations, just ask about life.
100%. I mean, and that's the biggest thing, is that leadership it's a very important thing within a squad. And I've always said this from the ground up. To me, the most important rank in the entire community is that captain and lieutenant. And people look at me like I'm crazy. They're like, Roughneck, well, you're a div leader, or Rogue is an MG. You guys do a lot. Well, the thing with it is captains and lieutenants are the front line guys. They go down and they play with members. They interact with people. If someone wants to rank up, they're there. They're down there giving the trainings, talking to these guys, coaching them through, all the different situations that they may have to deal with or handle, teaching them how to do workshops, game nights, and recruiting. So I respect you for that, because a lot of people would just kind of ride the wave and do the bare minimum. And also, hey, if you need some coaching tips, I do play Madden, and I mean, look, man, I'm pretty daggum good. So
hey, I'm an offensive line coach. So
hey,
so
there you go.
I've had to work for the running backs a little bit this week, and trying to make sure my offensive line makes the right step instead of taking a false step.
Yeah, hey, look, you gotta stay with the hogs, man. I'm a hog for life, so I know all about that. But yeah, no, that's great, dude, and I'm super pumped to have you here. But we're gonna go ahead and move on over here to. Oh, I'm sorry. Before I even go any further, Muse, did you have any questions to ask Patriot?
No, I'm a fellow high school teacher as well, and so I just want to commend you for taking the step and being real and saying, "Listen, I'm going to step down," because I think a lot of people in leadership are maybe worried or afraid to do that sometimes when they have real life stuff going on. Sometimes an LOA doesn't cut it, and it really means that you care about the community. When you do stuff like take that step and say, let me step away from this leadership thing for right now while I do my real life stuff. So that's awesome. We're glad you're here.
I appreciate that.
2 high school teachers and a podcast. Oh,
it's gonna get spicy.
Yeah. But no, glad to have you here, Patriot. That's awesome, dude. I hope that at some point, you sound like a really good guy. So I hope at some point you get a chance to move back up into leadership. You sound like somebody who would be really good for it. So,
I appreciate it.
All right, Robbie Scotty, cool name, dog. Let's talk about how long you've been in TSB.
A little over 4.5 months.
A little over 4.5 months. So, Robbie, what was something that I'm sure that you've been around, gaming for a little while and probably seen a lot of communities. What was something that kind of drew you towards TSB?
I've been big on gaming. I started on a Sega Dreamcast back when I was like 5.
Oh, wow.
So I've been into gaming since I was little.
Right.
And then I've been in a few gaming communities. One day I was just scrolling through, and I saw a post on a Facebook page for Rainbow Six Siege, and it was posted by the man himself, TSB Dark here. So I clicked interest on it, and since then I've been in TSB, and I've really enjoyed the community here. They're great people. No matter what game you play, you can always find someone to play with, and everyone's real nice and helpful. No matter whether it's gaming or if you need to talk about anything going on in life.
Right. Well, that's awesome, man. And we're glad to have you here as well. So 4 months in, how's everything going so far?
Pretty good. It was a while back. I told Dark if he would have told me I was going to be Colonel, I would have told him I didn't believe him.
Yeah, I've run into a lot of people that are like that, and you start talking about ranking up and stuff, and they're like, "No, I'm just here for the gaming." And then 2 weeks or a month later, they're sitting up there running a squad, and it's like, pretty weird how that worked out. So you're a colonel of a squad. So what's that like, man?
It's pretty good. I love having a leadership role. Like when I first started, I immediately got on the boat, did what I was supposed to. When I first started being in leadership, I just took it by the hands and went on with it.
Right on, man. That's all you can do. Ranking up from a lieutenant, going on through the ranks, lieutenant, captain, major, and colonel, it can be an exhausting battle. But when you finally get to that colonel spot, you're kind of able to reflect a little bit on, everything that you've done from coming into the community to where you're at now. And, even though my colonelling days were a long time ago, it feels like, I can still remember the excitement that I had to have my own squad and to be able to, meet everybody in my squad and get to know them, and then, to eventually get to split that squad. So I'm sure you're pretty excited about all that. But hey, man, look, we're glad to have you here. Glad you're here at the podcast. So we're going to go ahead. Muse, did you have anything to ask Scotty?
Just about how quickly you were able to become colonel. 4.5 months.
Ooh, yeah, that is true. That is true.
What made you decide to rank up, and how was that?
It mainly has to do with like my philosophy that I have for myself is if you want to achieve your goals or anything that you set for yourself, you gotta go big and you gotta put in the work.
I like that.
To quote Pinky here, hell yeah, brother.
Right on, man. Well, okay, we're gonna move down here to TSB Dark again. Scotty, glad to have you, brother. Sure we'll have you back on in the future.
Thanks for having me.
Alright, Dark. Let me have it.
I'm a MG here in WI. Been back in WI for 7 months. It's a great time here. I'm really excited about what we're building here and the atmosphere that we're building to give people a fun, and safe environment to play video games in, like what we want TSP to be. I'm excited to see that, how that is coming to fruition.
For those of you who don't know WI, WI has been a bulldog since day one. They've had to fight and crawl to get things back up and going, and now that things are up and going over there, that's amazing, dude. And me and you, we have a lot of history. You were in TSB when I came into TSB, and we kind of worked ourselves up the ranks together in a way. You were kind of up there before me, but I got up there pretty quick too. But yeah, I can remember meeting you, Dark, man. We hit it off, and we've been buddies ever since. And I'm super super happy for you guys over there in WI. And I hadn't got to tell you, or I may have been drinking, but congratulations on your promotion. It's long overdue. Long overdue.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So being an MG in WI, man. So what are some of the things that you're doing over there?
Leading the PGs and the squads to build and continue working to continue putting those bricks and those blocks into place to build WI up, giving people that fun and safe environment in TSP, trying to make that atmosphere where people can feel like they have somebody that they can approach to and talk to and just hang out and vibe with. That's
some of the most important things, making sure that everybody feels welcomed in the community. It is almost impossible to make sure that everybody is welcomed in the community. There's a lot of people that will go around and say, well, I didn't feel welcomed here or there. When you have as many people as we have in TSB, it's impossible to almost get to know everybody. All we can do as leaders and as members, is do our best to get to know as many people as possible. So it can be a battle in itself, trying to go around and in a way kind of please everybody, but it's very important to put that effort in. So Dark, you came over to WI from DS, still stings a little, my division, you left me. And, you started over there, man. You were running a squad, and then you got promoted to a BG. So how is your battle from, kind of facing all the things that you had to deal with coming over to WI? Because, I can remember, when you guys first came over, it was pretty rocky, and you guys worked your butts off. So just kind of give us an idea of what it was like, moving up in WI.
When we first came over here, things were really interesting. There was a lot that we were working towards to, build up. When I came back over here, I moved up in the squad after, just getting to know people in Mafia, which was the squad that I was in. I moved up, became an officer. A week or two, I was an LT. A week and a half, maybe after that, I was a captain. WI was in a spot where we had about 70 members across the division. We were kind of hurting, but there was a lot of people here that still wanted to fight for this division and, built it up. Still wanted to make something out of it. One night I went to sleep at 8 o'clock, took a nap. I wake up at 11 o'clock that night. My colonel pulls me in the party and says, "Oh, you're colonel now." I'm like, "What?"
Kind of one of those wait, am I getting punked right now? Is Ashton Kutcher gonna jump out of my closet?
Yeah. So I was kind of taken back by that. I was humbled. I felt like there was again an opportunity to push that forward, success for WI and help do things to put WI in a position where a year from now, it's still around.
Right.
We still have an opportunity, to call this home and be proud to be a part of this division. That's something that I've been really fighting for. My goal that I've been striving towards is just to make that happen.
I did a stint over in WI, and I still feel to this day that there was probably more that I could have done. But the cards just weren't in my favor. But I am overly ecstatic for that division. That division has lost a lot. It has come back, and it's something that everybody around the community scene should take notice of, because it's not easy to bring a division back from where WI was at a year ago, and to see you guys, back in action, splitting squads, getting people in the div staff, it's amazing. Now I know you said that was kind of your goal, but just something like kind of a personal goal that you have going forward. You're up to an MG, obviously. You're right there behind Rogue. You're chasing her. What's your goal?
Personally, rank has never been on the top of my list for goals. I just want to make TSB a better place.
100%, man. I can respect that. And I do agree. That's probably one of the hardest things to have to deal with, especially when you are a leader. Is having to deal with people who are just chasing a rank. Because at the end of the day, if you're moving up in the community, it shouldn't be to chase a rank. It should be it should be to make not only your division better, but the community better as a whole. Bringing new ideas to the table, helping people out when they come in. Just being there for that person. At the end of the day, we may all have these goofy or cool gamer tags, and we may play video games, all the time. But at the end of the day, we are people. We're people behind the headsets. So it's good to keep that level-headedness to being a leader, because you have to be an understanding person in order to do what we do. Do you have anything for this man?
It's been awesome to hear from the grapevine about what you guys have been doing over in WI. Y'all are 260 members, and that number, just 6 months ago was so different. So I just want to congratulate you on the promotion and congratulate you guys on a job well done.
Yeah, 100%. This will sound cliche, but I'm super proud of you guys that are over there. Because, we tried to fight the good fight when I was over there, but I'm glad that you guys have got things up and going over there. Couldn't be any happier for y'all. But Dark, as always, brother, it's glad to have you on here. And glad that you're here with us. Glad you're up in leadership, man, making changes and really making an impact on a lot of people. It's awesome to see. So now we're going to go down to TSB Irishman. Now, you are the fella with the 2 kids and the baby on the way, right?
That's it.
Congratulations on the kiddo on the way. I know I said that earlier. That's 3 kiddos, man. That's a lot of money.
We have to go to zone defense now, so
I guarantee it. I mean, y'all gonna have to do something. You have any more kids, you'll be able to start up your own little league football team.
Totally.
Quick question.
Sure.
So, boy or girl?
So we find out probably in a week, but
Oh, here we go.
But before I got married, I told my wife, I said, "Look, I'm only having girls."
What?
I'm telling you. So I was in the military. I was a nuclear engineer, and there's a thing with radiation that you only have girls, and it is like 99% accurate. And I'm 2 for 2 now. So I got 2 girls. I don't know what the third is, but I replaced my whole bank account.
Fingers crossed for a boy. Fingers crossed for a boy.
I'd love it. But we'll find out in a week or so.
Right on, man. Well, hey, you got to keep us updated now. We're all invested. We have to know, so you have to make an announcement as soon as you find out.
Absolutely.
Sweet. All right, Irishman, so tell us a little bit about yourself other than your rank and all that.
I live in the D.C. area. Like I said, I got 2 kids, 1 on the way. I'm in sales for an engineering firm. I also used to teach. Patriot and I talked about that for a while, before, which was a fun thing. Taught a different group of folks, but taught nonetheless. And,
right.
Now I try and stay busy. I run a couple of tennis leagues where I'm co-captain in a few teams. I'm just now, actually, while we're talking, filling out a few master's degrees acceptance forms right now, going for 2 master's degrees starting in about a month.
Wow.
I just like to stay busy. I don't like free time.
I'm gonna have to, Rogue. We got to get together after this because I'm gonna have to figure out where you're getting all these guys. I need a couple of people like that over my division right now.
Right?
Good Lord, we got a nuclear engineer and a teacher and good night. So, all right, man. Well, hey, that's badass. So, kind of the same thing that I asked Scotty, dude. What leaped out at TSB to you? How long have you been here?
About 5 months.
So 5 months in, man, how you feeling about it?
So I love it. I would say probably the first 2 months, I was probably one of those people that was probably in the background and kind of muted Discord a little bit because I wasn't necessarily used to it as much or didn't use it. And then I started trying to say, I'll get involved. I'll ping a few people. And as soon as I started talking to some people and, getting into some game nights and, getting into some Xbox parties and kind of meeting the group, just kind of fell in love with the group. And to be honest with you, I've known Forsaken for 12 years now or 10 years or whatever it's been, because I was with him before. And that's kind of how they found me. My old recruiter found me, months ago because of, my gamer tag and who I knew. And, so I got roped back in after many years of disappearing from the military time and everything else. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll join. I'm looking for more people to game with, especially at my age now where, your friend group kind of gets spotty with playing games on Saturday nights because of kids or whatever else. So it's a good way to kind of get looped back in and always have a variety of people on a variety of different games of getting to kind of hanging out and chill out a little bit.
Well, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, look, to touch base on the whole friend group thing, I think probably a lot of us can understand that. I mean, I tell people all the time, some of my closest friends are the people that I've met here in TSB. Yeah, just for the simple fact, I love playing video games. Some of my buddies, they used to play them back in the day. Now they think they're stupid. And I'm like, well, you can grow up. I'm going to remain a child. TSB, man, it can be a real game changer for people. And we've had a lot of people too that they kind of hide in the background, and it can be an intimidating thing when you come in, especially when you've been gone for a long time. Things have probably changed and they're different, and so I can understand that. My LG, he was that way. We've known each other for 13 years, and we ran a community together prior, and I brought him into TSB, and for 2 weeks, this man didn't say a word. He never once spoke in Discord, wouldn't jump in the parties, and then finally he just made the decision and leaped in, and I was like, oh my god. So, but it can't, sometimes you can get a little taken back by it, and it's a lot. So what are some of the games that you like to play?
So, I love getting competitive. I'm a very competitive guy. So, Warzone and some of the other Call of Duty type games, Rocket League, I love competing in those, but I also love the super laid back games like Jackbox Party or Fall Guys, or just kind of some silly games that you can kind of play and just kind of BS with buddies and kind of catch up and obviously have drinks. I'm drinking right now. It's Friday night, so I play kind of silly games, and I also like to play some competitive games.
Right on. Well, hell yeah. Are you currently ranking up within TSB?
I'm a captain over in the Infernal Squad. That was one of the ones that just split. I've been kind of trying to help out as much as I can, and see where the road takes me. But obviously, I'd love to offer my services, and as Patriot and some of the other people have talked about, ranking up isn't necessarily to shine your brass off and show off where you've gone. It's it's work, is what it is. So if you're willing to put in the work and willing to put in the effort, and you want to actually make your home a better place, then you're going to want to put in that effort. So that's kind of where I am. And if I can be used in a certain rank or a certain position, then that's what I'm here for. So
right, yeah, and that's the thing about ranking up too. Is I tell people a lot, ranking up is optional. You don't have to do it. It's something that you agree to do, and it kind of comes back to the whole. You may have great people, but it's really hard to find great leaders. And I've told a lot of people this. When you start ranking up, you have to realize that we're not asking for a large portion of your time, but we are asking you to dedicate a certain portion of your time to the community. And it's not to no one's getting paid to do this. No one's getting paid to do a workshop or a game night or bring in a recruit. We're doing this to keep what we do here around. Gaming communities, over the past 4 years, they've been struggling, and they've been struggling because there's really no structure in a lot of them. Within TSB, we do the things that we do so that we can kind of bring people in and show them, like, hey, if you're a retired guy or a kid during the summertime, or maybe, a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, or you're hurt, come in here and we'll give you anything that you want to do. If you want to learn how to rank up, learn how to rank up. If you want to do workshops, game nights, recruiting, boom, we've got that for you. Then we also offer the web ops, where you can be a part of the podcast right here, be a part of, graphics, you can be a part of productions. So, structure to me is one of the most fundamental things about the community anyway, as far as all that. And ranking up is extremely important to be able to keep the wheels turning at this place. So that's awesome, man. I'm glad you're moving up. You definitely sound like a guy that we need to have ranking up.
I appreciate that.
Hughes, you got anything for him?
Just another round of congratulations.
Hey, thank you.
That's awesome.
Like I said, I'll keep you guys up to date. As soon as I find out, I'll let you guys know.
I'm
Yeah.
100% invested. Gotta know.
I am too, 100%. I got to know. And if it's a boy, I'm going to expect $20 from you, just so you
Hey,
know.
I'll tell you what. The only thing I was praying when we went in that first ultrasound was, please tell me there's just one. Because you know what? This was our last one, and it was 3. And if it was twins or triplets, I don't know what I would have done.
You'd have probably been filling out those degrees a little bit faster, huh?
Exactly.
Well, hey, right on, man. Glad to have you here, Irishman. Excited to see what you do within the community. Also excited to hear about the gender reveal. We're going to go ahead and move over here to Miss TSB Rogue.
WI, we've come a long way. It's been a long battle and a lot of work, and everybody rallied together, and we're able to finally, get things going in the right direction. And I'm super proud of everybody.
Yeah, and that's an understatement. Rogue, me and you, we've spent a lot of time together, especially when I was over there and even before I was over there. And I'll tell you right now, I'm super fucking proud of the leader that you become to the people in WI. You never gave up on them. You always wanted things to succeed and work over there. and you had to claw and fight as well, probably a lot harder than most, just because of the situation that you were put in at the time. But just to kind of touch base on that, what's it been like? Obviously, I know what it's been like, but from your perspective, what's it been like from basically, we won't sugarcoat it, being at rock bottom to where you guys are now?
It's been a struggle. Some days were great and some were really tough. But I've got great leaders around me. Who were there. Putting in the time and putting in the work, and just helping to make WI better, and just nobody's willing to give up on us. Everybody was fighting. We care a lot about WI, and giving people an environment where it can be an escape from the crap that people deal with every day. It's been a lot of work, but it's paid off.
And being able to watch you guys, the amount of care that you guys have for that division, it's almost unmatched compared to a lot. And I'm not saying that other people don't care about their division, but people have to realize you guys came from. I can remember at one point when I looked at the join leave and there was 28 people in the server. Now you guys are rocking out. You finally got your div staff guys. You finally got some. I was pumped about that when I heard the news. You've got squad splitting. Sounds like you've got a good batch of colonels over there. So, what type of mindset do you think that it takes to come back from something like that?
My mindset has always been, I spend my time, getting in parties with these members, as many as I can, and getting to know them, and never wanted to give up for them. We really care about our members and how they're doing, and just giving them that solid division where they can take pride in WI, and know that they've got people to talk to, people to game with. Just a great place to be. That's what kept me going through everything.
Yeah, and that can be a huge factor in it too. I know the little bit of time that I did spend over there, I saw the people that wanted it to work, and that fought tooth and nail to bring the division back alongside with you as well. And so, like I said, it really is an amazing thing, and it should be shared more throughout all divisions. WI should be a division that people look at and say, you know what, if they can fight and come back from where they were at, maybe our problems that we're having in our division aren't all that, they're not that big of a deal. Because like I said, you guys were there. I know there for a while there was talks of even closing WI temporarily to be able to give another division an opportunity to split and then start WI back up, and you guys are like, nope, we're not doing that. We are going to save this division. So kudos to everybody over there. It really is. And at some point we'll have to have you and Dark back on, and maybe some of the I'm not saying that any of these guys in here aren't key contributors to the success of WI, but try to get you and Dark and some of the guys that are still with you from that point in time in WI, and have a whole episode like that to where we can really get y'all's story out there in the open, so that people can listen to the struggle to the success, because that we don't have enough time in the day to talk about the amount of struggle that you guys went to where you're at now.
Oh yeah, it hasn't been easy, for sure. But it's definitely worth it. Couldn't have done it without the amazing leaders that I have in WI, and the up and coming leaders, and everybody's just banded together and put the work in.
Well, and not even to mention your growth as a leader. I got to kind of see you, make that leap. I remember when I first met you, you were soft spoken,
right.
Fairly nice, and then you spent about 2 months with me, and I was like, oh my god, I created a monster. But
right.
It was what you needed, and I'm super glad that you're no longer a doormat to the problems, and it's really awesome to see. So you've got div staff now. What's that like? It's probably been a while since you got that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I've been in TSB for a little over 2.5 years, I think, and we have more div staff than WI has seen in my entire time in TSB. It's an amazing thing, to have all these great leaders who are there to help and support all the members, and it definitely is something new that I haven't experienced.
Well, and I'm sure that it's probably like, whew, I can breathe now because I've got a div staff that can, instead of me having to go and handle all the issues, now I've got a div staff that can branch out and, hey, this is going on, hey, that's going on, hey, I solved this issue. So I can only imagine, like, it's like a weight being lifted off your shoulders now that now that you have people up there able to help you.
It really is. For a while it was just Dark and I, and when we had recent squad splits, we had 2 squads that split about a week ago. We were able to get more div staff. I told Dark, I was like, you can breathe now.
Yeah.
It's great to have that.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I cannot say enough. This is like a David and Goliath type story, and I think it would really be a great topic to touch on, in another podcast where we have more time and less people to go through. But I will say this: I know every single leader in TSB is super proud of everything that you guys are doing in WI, and we're all excited to see what that division does, what the leaders in that division does, and what the squads do as well. I've got ears everywhere, so I always hear about the squad splits and stuff like that, and so it made me smile. I was sitting here the other night when I heard about that, and I just started smiling. So it's really great to hear good things for once coming out of WI, and it has been a long time since anybody has heard any good things. So all of you guys in here, and your boy, I didn't forget about you. We're going to get to you here in just a minute, but all of you guys in here that are a part of that division, just know that if you weren't here during the hard times, cherish what you have now. Don't ever let it get back to that. Keep pushing and keep doing what you guys are doing, because it's truly, truly amazing. With that being said, Muse, do you have anything?
What you would say to members of leadership in other squads and other divisions who are still struggling, who are maybe having difficulty with their retention, those sorts of things. What do you say to those?
That's a great question.
One of the things that I've, found is that's been the most helpful or effective is having everybody, div staff, officers, everybody getting in parties with members, messaging members and checking in on them, and just, hey, how's your day going? Just reaching out and showing people that we care. And if you're going through a tough time, you just kind of have to dig deep and remember why you're doing this. TSB has given me so much. When I first joined, I was one of those people Roughneck had mentioned with super bad social anxiety, and TSB has given me the opportunity to grow and learn.
Yeah, 100%. And like I said before, that's something that a lot of divisions that are kind of going through struggle. They're struggling a little bit, retention rates. Maybe they're having trouble recruiting. One of the best tools that you have is the fact that you have access. For the most part, every single member, whether you're a member or whether you're a lieutenant, captain, major, colonel, or above that, you all have that tool there to message, hey, what's up, man? How are you doing? Haven't seen you in a while. It really does open the eyes to a lot of people. I know it's something that we've done before in DS. Obviously, you guys in WI have done it as well, and it does work. If you interact with people who maybe aren't as vocal or haven't talked in Discord, and hey, dude, just checking on you. Not talking about TSB stuff, not talking about ranking up. Hey, man, you want to go jump in a game and play some COD or play some Rocket League? You guys would be surprised how well that really works to get people active. I've seen it happen a million times. That was a great question.
Yeah, it does for sure. Like, you never know what someone's going through, and like how much one message can change their day.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the biggest thing is, at the end of the day, we do this for the people. It's not, like Dark said before, it's not for the rank. It's not for the pat on the back. It's not for the that a boy. It's for each individual person in here. You know, we want to set a place for people to be able to come, find friends, game, laugh, make friendships. I've got friendships in TSB as a whole, you know, that will more than likely last me a lifetime. You know, guys that I've you know, I get in parties with every single day and play with every single day, and members that I get into parties with every single day and play every single day. And, you know, it's a really good feeling because, I mean, I'm lucky enough myself to have a wife that is also a gamer, and so I get to be on here 24/7. She doesn't say a word to me, except for when it's movie night. If it's movie night, I can't. But other than that, you know, but playing with members, getting to know them, whether they're a lieutenant or, you know, a lot of people have this misconception that, you know, especially ones that are trying to rank up, I've got to go play with captains and lieutenants so that they know that I'm online and active. No, you don't. Go jump in there with some members. Go get in a party full of just sergeants or staff sergeants or even master sergeants. Game and play. At the end of the day, that's all we want to see. But as always, Rogue, it's great having you on here. We've had you on some podcasts before, and I'm for sure, you know, I want to have you guys, some of you OGWI guys, back in here at a later date to kind of talk more about, kind of have like a 60-minute episode about, you know, the downfall to the rise of WI, and so that we can really get a better perspective of what you guys went through during that whole transition, because there is a lot. There's a lot to unwrap, a lot to talk about, so that'd be really cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Muse, did you have anything else?
Nothing from me.
Sweet. All right, your boy, last but not least.
Oh, that's good.
And I gotta say, dog, I love the beard.
It's even bigger now, man.
I got one. I just haven't changed my profile picture yet, so yeah. But it's not as good as yours, so whatever. But, you know. So your boy, man, how long have you been in TSB? I know I've asked you this, but look, I got short-term memory loss.
I've been in 2.5 months, dude.
2.5 months, man. Were you in any communities prior to TSB?
No.
No. So you're a first timer, huh?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Already a colonel. What?
And you're a colonel. Oh my lord!
No.
You're
No,
not.
I'm not. I'm a BG.
You're a freaking BG, and you've been here for 2 months.
Yeah, 2.5 months. Yeah.
Good night. Well, aren't you just fucking Mr. Big Shotting over here? 2 months in TSB and a BG. Dag, I bet it's because of the beard. That's what I'm gonna go with.
Nah, I think it's the Scottish accent, dude.
Yeah, that's
I'd
true.
have to agree with that. Yeah.
I actually have PTSD from Scottish accents, but that's for another story, probably not in the podcast. So, 2 months in TSB, man. I mean, obviously, I gotta ask you. You know, what leaped out at TSB and made you say, you know what, I want to join them? And then, just to kind of add on to that, what made you want to start ranking up as well?
So like I was playing COD, and as a lot of people's stories starting here, Dark had a post up from COD. I joined, and there's a lot of people in the party and stuff, and yeah, it was just good vibes, man. I mean, I was like, yeah, this is a place that I could vibe. And then when I got in, I don't know, for the first couple of days, I felt like people were just overlooking me because I was like a sergeant kind of thing. So I was like, well, maybe if I rank up, people might notice me kind of thing. So I busted my ass, got to LT within a couple of days. People started going, oh, hey, blah, 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 and then got to know me. So it worked. My plan worked all along, know what I mean? And, like, originally I wanted to rank up just to get a bit of, like, people, like, noticing me, but then I realised ranking up was super fun, and it was something I was actually interested in, and, like, I knew it would eventually help the division in a way, so I just kept pushing for it, dude. Like, I was always looking for that next step, know what I mean? As soon as I got to LT, I wanted captain. As soon as I got to captain, I wanted major. I mean, I kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And then I woke up one day to Rogue messaging me and stuff, and she's just like, hey, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I want to make you a colonel. And I'm like, let's go.
Hell yeah!
As soon as I got to colonel, dude, I was just like, next step from here, hit that div staff. And like, as soon as I got into Rogue and Dark, I've always been like super like supportive and always said that I was going to do great things and I was going to like make div stuff, and they really pushed me towards that, man. So I was always just like, if they think I can do it, I believe I got this.
Hey, dude, that is badass. To be in the community for 2 months, man, and to be where you're at, there's not very many people that can say that. Truly, there's not many people that can say that. So that right there just shows the amount of work that you put in, and the fact that your whole plan was just to rank up to get noticed, you know, and then now you are where you're at. It's funny but awesome at the same time. You know how that kind of transpired. So you know that's pretty wild. So it sounds kind of like your move up was brief as far as running squads, but you know, kind of give us a rundown on what it was like to colonel a squad for that short period of time.
I was super lucky, dude, because like squad that I ended up colonelling was pretty much sorted. Previously, they didn't have a lot of direction, and that kind of split them in a way. But when I went over to the colonel spot, that squad, I didn't know how it was going to be originally. I thought they were going to kind of be very wary of me because I was coming from a different squad into that squad, know what I mean, and stuff like that. But they're all super receptive, and Robbie, he was my major, like he's one of my main guys, like love him to bits. And everyone in that squad just got like a second lease of life, dude. And basically, Rogue and Dark gave me the reins and just went go for it, and then that's what I did. I was just like, let's get this, guys. Let's get this split. Let's show everyone else that we might have been divided, but we're united now, and we're coming. And that's what happened. Like we were the first squad to split in the division, and all I'm seeing now is just squad splits and like colonels up and coming, and it's so crazy since I've been here. Know what I mean? Because even when I was here, like stuff started off a little bit slow, but we've had so many great leaders just want to rank up and stuff, and all I can say is like this division is going to become a powerhouse in the next like 6 months easy, and it's just going to get stronger.
Dude, the vibes that you give off give me cold chills, dog. I love to hear shit like that. That's dope. And you sound like someone who's going to be a phenomenal leader, and I'm sure Rogue and Dark are both extremely excited about that as well. I'm just still stuck on the 2 months and you're a BG, dude. That is awesome. You know, it can be, and you know, really where you're at, just it goes to show to a lot of people that ranking up can be fun, and it can be quick as well if you do the things that you're supposed to do. And, you know, that's where it gets really hard, you know, especially when you're colonelling a squad or you're a captain or a major, is trying to find that motivation to put it down to your people and say, hey, look where I got in 2 months. You guys can do the same thing. I just need the same type of commitment out of you guys. It's not hard. Goals aren't hard. Goals are hard if you make it hard. If you make this a job, then you'll eventually hate it. You got to remember at the end of the day that this is for fun, and the goals that we do are to help the community. And so, you know, it's a whole different vibe when you get in and the excitement kicks in. You know, now you're in div staff, and that's a whole other list of chores that you have to deal with. But it is awesome. So, you know, now that you're a BG, man, how you feeling about that role?
I spend a lot of my time with Rogue and Dark, so I know a lot of like the stress that they were going through. But like, I think now that there's an actual like div staff established and stuff, a lot less stress there, dude. And I feel like, honestly, I've got a lot more time on my hands to play games than when I did as a colonel. I'm not having to micromanage and stuff as much anymore. Like, I'm still obviously, like, constantly looking at chats to make sure there's nothing weird going on and stuff like that, and other stuff, like, you know, but other than that, dude, like, most of my time has just went into gaming recently, like, since I became a BG.
Yeah, and that's the great thing too. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that when you get into div staff, it really does become more about gaming with the members, because div staff all throughout the community has always kind of caught a bad rep, because you get up into div staff and now you're div staff, you don't care about us. And I think a lot of us leaders and div staff members, we've tried to change that narrative, and getting into parties and playing with people and showing them that you're just a regular person just like them. That rank doesn't matter. I tell people all the time, I don't do any TSB business in Xbox Live parties. That's one of my policies. If I'm on Xbox, if you need me for TSB stuff, DM me on Discord. Xbox that's where I go for my peace and quiet, to play with people, to play games, to have fun, to joke. I'm not div lead TSB Roughneck when I'm in a party, unless I have to be. For the most part, I'm div lead TSB Roughneck in Discord. And I try to keep that separate so that it doesn't get in the way of what I truly enjoy, and that's to game with the members, with people, make friends, and play. Do whatever we're gonna do. Sometimes I'll just go into parties and sit there if I'm bored, or if I'm drunk and I'm lonely. As sad as that may sound, but it is what it is. So, gosh dang, 2 months, man. I don't even really have any questions, hard hitting questions to ask you. It's still just kind of blowing my mind. Muse, do you have anything?
I don't think so. Just to, talk to the audience really quick. If you are on Xbox and want to get into this community that seems to be exploding with growth right now, you need to hit up one of these guys on Discord.
Or me. You can hit up me.
TSB Roughneck.
Yeah. Don't hit up anybody in WI.
Nah.
Plug for DS in there.
They can hit up TSB Rogue.
No, look, she won't recruit you right, and I will. So you might as well just hit up TSB Roughneck. So
right.
Nah, fam, he'll probably fall asleep with his old age.
Hey, look, man.
If we're hitting up anyone, that needs to be Robbie. My boy got this. My boy learnt training from the best. Me. And I learned training from the best.
I gotta represent
recruits. We can get our own. Don't worry.
I gotta represent my division as well here. Okay, so shout out to DS. What? But your boy, what are some of your goals long term for TSB?
Honestly, my long term goals are just to keep doing what I'm doing, dude. Like, if a position opens up, I'm gonna push for it. As I keep telling, even when I was ranking up this whole time, dude, one thing that I always like to say to even people on the same level or lower than me is, we wouldn't be where we were at if we didn't have these sergeants and staff sergeants and master sergeants and stuff who wanted to be in the community, because what does our rank really mean if those people aren't there? What's the point in us having a rank at that point? We're just another person that's just got a couple of letters next to their name that mean absolutely jack all.
That's awesome, though. So one last question here before we wrap everything up for you. What is something that you would like to see happen within the community?
One thing I want to see more of is cross-dev game nights. We just don't have enough of them. We maybe get 1 or 2 a week or something, but I want to, people from WI get in with DS members and RH and stuff, and just hit it up and get to know more people. Obviously, you're part of your own div and your own squad and stuff, but that doesn't limit from TSB as a whole. It's why have TSB in your name if you're just gonna stick to those 4 people that you know? Know what I mean? Originally, my first 2 weeks in or something, I didn't really know many people outside WI, but then I started obviously getting in parties with Dark and parties with Rogue and stuff, and then Hostel would come into parties, and I got to know people that he knew, other people from security and all that, and it's when you really start to realise how big the family really is as TSB as a whole, is when you start to realise it's damn, there's so many people out there that I didn't know that I could have a connection with. that I've not put myself out there. So I will say, guys, don't be afraid to go into global and just be like, yo, what's up, guys? What's popping? Because I bet you any money you'll find at least 5 people that will have similar interests to you and just want to sit and chat shit and have a good time. Like, don't forget, global's a thing, guys.
100%. And, cross-div game nights, too. That's something that can really push that narrative and get it to where you meet different people from different divisions. I think we've had a couple of cross-div game nights with you guys. We've had some with RH. And so pushing cross-div game nights, and getting in there and meeting different people from different divisions, that's always a great thing to do. But, man, you sound awesome. I'm glad to have you here. I'm sure Rogue and Dark are super stoked. All you guys. We'll touch on Knowledge here just a second and let him, we'll give him a quick shout out. Doing our recording tonight. Without him, we would not be here. Let's make sure that we're clear on that. So big shout out to him. I'll introduce myself just so you guys know me. I'm TSB Roughneck. I'm the division leader of DS. I've been in TSB for, I'd say 2.5 years at this point. It feels like about 10 years. I love playing games. I'll play whatever, really, well, I say that, okay. I've downloaded a bunch of games, and then people don't ever play them again after I get them downloaded. By the way, I only get 5 megabytes up and like 3 down. So if I download a game for you and you quit playing it, plane tickets are super cheap. I'm going to find you, and I'm going to beat the shit out of you. So if you ever ask me to download a game, you better keep playing it because it's going to take me about 7 days to download it. That being said, I'm a truck driver. I was a roughneck, I worked in the oil field on drilling rigs and workover rigs for about 6 years. Decided to make the switch. I love it. I get to be home now, and I get to do what I love here, which is, run a division and make sure that things are running smoothly and that people are happy. This podcast, it's a privileged thing that we get to do here. And, I'm glad that we get to come on here and speak to each and every single one of you guys. Muse is a podcast host in training. She's actually a podcast leader, but, we're going to try to get her in there on hosting some podcasts so she can kind of get, a roundabout idea of how these things run. And this is the first one in a long time, so it's a little rusty. Usually we would have events and stuff like that, but I will tell you guys, make sure that you guys are looking at Thunderdome. Make sure that you guys are looking at WebOps as far as the events going on. Guys, they plan these events and they work really, really hard on making sure that they're fun. So if you got time and you see an event popping off, go join it. Go have a good time. That's another great way to meet more people. Thunderdome's another great way to meet more people. And Global, just like you boys said right here, Global, another great way to meet new people. And to touch on what Muse said earlier, for anybody listening out here that's not a part of TSB, guys, I promise you right now, we are not like the rest. This community is not like everybody else. We're different. And I know that's, it's easy to say that, but come join it, come give it a chance, see what you think. Sometimes TSB is not for everybody, but you could be that lucky one that gets to be a part of all of this. Muse, do you have anything else you want to say to these fine people?
I appreciate very much your time. I appreciated hearing your stories and getting to meet everybody. And this was a great podcast. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Does anybody have any shout outs that they want to say real quick?
I'd like to shout out Irishman here for the month of May, was member of the month and also recruiter of the month. He's over there killing it.
Hell yeah. Keep doing your shit over there, Irishman. Love to see it. Dart, did you have somebody?
Oh yeah, I just wanted to shout out everybody in WI. We wouldn't have the division that we have now without everybody over there working together. Even the sergeants that just go to game nights and hang out and vibe. We wouldn't have the division where it's at right now if it wasn't for everybody there.
110% agree with that. Patriot, did you have anybody you wanted to shout out?
Kind of piggyback off of what Dark said. I mean, like you boys said, every single part of this community is what makes this place amazing. Down from the recruit to the highest rank, everybody has their job and everybody has their goals and everybody has what they need to do or want to do to make this place a safe place for gamers.
100%, man. Can't echo that enough. You know, we are here for the people. At the end of the day, the rank really doesn't matter because just like these guys have said in here, without the sergeants, the staff sergeants, the master sergeants, without those guys who are here to solely meet friends, play games, join workshops, join game nights, and get to know people, you know, none of us in here would be where we're at. So it's extremely important. But with that being said, guys, that is the end of TSB Take a Seat Tidbits podcast. I'm hoping to God the name will change of this podcast pretty soon. I've already talked to the bosses about it, so we may have a different name come the next podcast, may not. But it's been an honor to have every single one of you guys in here and to have Miss Muse in here as well. Like I said before, she is the podcast leader, and she will soon hopefully be hosting some of her own podcasts. But with that being said, I think we're going to wrap it up.
Hey, you very good.